Hey guys, TheALOwens here. Suppose you've gone out and purchased yourself a new firearm. Got a new pistol. Need to get a holster to carry this in. Look around on the internet, go to gun shops, sporting goods stores, and you just can't find just exactly the holster that you want. Well, if you're looking for something Kydex, I've got a solution for you. You can make it yourself. Save yourself some money and design the holster that exactly fits your firearm and your needs. Or suppose you've bought a new Mora knife. Now, many of you know, for the money, this is probably one of the best knives out there. Extremely low price, extremely good knife, extremely durable. The one really bad part about Mora knives, the junky little sheath that they come with. Once again, Kydex may be your solution there. So stick with me through the rest of this video. I will go through the things that you're going to need to be able to make your own Kydex sheaths or holsters. And then in the second video, we'll actually go in and make a holster and let you see the process. Hope you enjoy. Stick around, have a look, let me know what you think. Thanks guys. Alright, so what do you need to work on a Kydex sheath or a Kydex holster? Obviously, first off, you need the Kydex. This is a leftover portion of a .060 inch Kydex sheet that I bought. It also comes in the thicker if you're wanting to make a heavy duty type holster. I prefer the .060 personally. It's a little easier to work with. You get a nicer mold on the weapon from it. But nothing wrong with the I believe it's .085. But when you buy this, it comes in sheets like this. And guys, it's easy to find. Just go to eBay, look up Kydex sheet. Right there, I don't know if you can tell, but you got 4 sheets of 12 by 24 for $20 or best offer. From that one sheet, I can get 1 full-size holster or 2 for a small concealed carry like a PF9 Kel-Tec, something like that. I can get actually 2 holsters out of 1 sheet this size. Next thing that you're going to need is a couple of tools to be able to prepare it and shape it. Some guys use a skill saw, a band saw of some type. I don't have anything that fancy. I have my handy Sears rotary tool. Guys, if you don't have something like this, I actually went the other day to Harbor Freight. $10. Not as heavy duty, but it'll get the job done. It'll be plenty for what you're working with here on the Kydex. I just use the simple sandpaper cutting disc. Use it to shape. You will need a knife, X-Acto knife or some type of blade to score. Kydex actually cuts very easily. All you have to do is score a line on it and then flex along that line and it will break. Straight edge is going to come in handy, something you can get a good square angle with. Pliers, probably not necessary, but I do use them quite a bit. You're all going to need to measure. Measure twice, cut once, remember. Going to need some good squares of some varying sandpapers. Everything from rough edging to doing some finishing. Another thing that you're going to need to have are rivets. Again, this is just a little brass rivet. Open on one end. And a little $5 tool. Set it on, put the Kydex in between it, put the punch on top, hit it with a hammer, and it rounds it out so that it looks the same on either side. Once again, on these guys, the easiest way is to go to eBay and Google Kydex rivets. Here, the first one that comes up, quantity of 50 for $14.95 or best offer. Guys, you can get this stuff. I guarantee you, once you do your first holster, you'll made up your price and you'll still have materials left over to do several more. Next thing you're going to want is, they're called Chicago screws to hold on, to hold the holster together. All it is basically is a big flat, almost rivet looking on one side with female threads. Then you have the male threaded end that is actually a screw that screws in, and you use to fasten those together. Gonna need a drill and a bit slightly larger than your rivets to be able to drill the holes in the Kydex. Another thing that I found useful but not necessary, and again, this is just a Harbor Freight cheapo heat gun. This comes in handy when you're doing your finishing touches, doing any final shaping, trying to work on your retention, making it retention a little stronger or a little weaker. That heat gun will come in handy. Be able to make it easier for you to work with. One very important thing I almost left out: gloves. When you're working with a Kydex, it's going to be hot. Glasses. When you're using your rotary tool to cut, it's going to throw a lot of particles. Be sure you're wearing your safety glasses. The way the Kydex works, the way you actually get it to shape, is you heat it to just over 300 degrees Fahrenheit and then put it in a mold and shape it. And I'll show the mold here in just a minute. But this is where you're going to come to the point that you're either going to have to be a guy that already spends a lot of time in the kitchen and your wife's not going to notice you being in there, or you're going to have to sneak in there when she's not around, or she's going to have to be very trusting, or you may end up doing like I did and breaking down, I think I got, my wife calls it my easy bake oven. It's just a little toaster oven that I picked up at a yard sale. You can see it's got some burnt Kydex on the tray there. But that's going to be necessary to get your Kydex up to heat so that you can shape it before you put it in your press. Alright, aside from a way to heat up your Kydex, your next big thing is going to be a press. I went online, there were tons of plans and complicated and expensive and lots of ways to make a press. Guys, I took some scrap wood, some lightweight door hinges, put this together. I ran to Harbor Freight. They sell, actually I'm standing on it, they sell little pads for your garage, little cushions to, so you're not standing on the concrete all day. Bought some of that, cut it up. You can spend a lot of money getting some, quote, Kydex forming foam. My experience, this stuff right here works just fine. So once you heat it in your toaster oven, get it up to about 300 degrees, starts getting pliable. All I do is lay it on the pad, form it around the gun, lay my second set on top of the gun. I use a giant C-clamp. Just secure it on there, tighten it down so that it's tight on there. Leave it on for several minutes, and that Kydex will actually take the shape of the gun. Pretty simple process. When you get done, you can end up with some nice looking little holsters. There's my inside the waistband for my everyday carry. Here's an outside the waistband. As you can see, I tried to get a little bit better definition on this one. A little outside the waistband that I made for our Smith & Wesson Sigma. Just standard loops. It's got the contour, and you know, there's a lot of them out there just like this, but you're not going to pick any of them up for $10 or less. And actually, in my mind, this one was free because I bought my Kydex supplies to make this one. Used leftovers to make that one there. In the next video, guys, I'll go in and start making one, show you the process. Stay tuned for more. As always, thanks for watching.